Hello, Legacy Gaming Hub. My name is Xiant, and I'm bringing you something a little different today. It's not a lot different because it's still a shooter, and it's still in first person. But it's not Call of Duty, and it's not Battlefield. It's a free-to-play game called Blacklight Retribution. Those of you on Xbox may remember Blacklight Tango Down from a few years back. Well, this is the sequel that they're supporting a whole lot more, and that without having played Retribution, I can't say whether it's better or not, but I like it. As a free-to-play game, there is no cost to entry, and you can get playing as soon as you're done downloading it. You won't have access to a lot of the special items unless you want to pay real-world money. But don't think it's a pay-to-win model, because it's not. Instead, all the weapons have very minute stat increases, or decreases depending on which attachment you use. Your character also has these increases and decreases based on what they're wearing: armor, helmets, leggings, shoulder pads, etc. And while you can spend a lot of money and get a really powerful setup, you still have to be able to shoot in order to succeed in this game, as with any shooter. And customization is this game's biggest selling point. The shooting is fairly generic, the maps are pretty good for shooter maps, but you're not going to have a revolution in shooter gameplay based on Blacklight Retribution. That's not what they're going for. Instead, customization is king. Everything from the optic, to the receiver, to the muzzle, the stock, the trigger, almost everything about your gun is customizable, and almost everything about your character is customizable. But at the risk of just doing a game review, let me get into a brief topic, because I like to say that I think a little too hard about video games. I think a little too much about them. And I wanted to ask you guys a couple things. First of all, I know that many of you have a core game, Call of Duty, Battlefield, another shooter. And that while for some of you, you're able to just play that shooter or game endlessly. There's no need to go to another game to make it fresh again. You find ways within the game to keep it fresh. For others, like myself, I can't play just Call of Duty for 40 days straight and not have it get old. Battlefield, which was my main game for a long time, I got bored of it. I got bored of Bad Company 2, and I eventually got bored of Battlefield 3. Bored enough that I started playing Call of Duty, which is a mortal sin in some of the Battlefield circles. But I enjoy the game, and for me it acted as a really nice breather, a really nice refresher course in what shooting can be like. Blacklight Retribution is a third tier in that I'm sort of tired of Black Ops 2, and I'm pretty tired of Battlefield 3. And so I need something to bridge that gap between now and whenever the next DLC comes out. Now, of course, with Battlefield 3, we only have one DLC left in the game, which, as far as I know, the only saving grace there is it has motorcycles. Ooh. Black Ops 2, being the newer game, has at least 3 or 4 DLC packs coming out, and they're going to be coming out end of this month, early next month for PC players, and for the next year, foreseeably. And then there's going to be another Call of Duty, and we're going to do the whole thing over again. So Blacklight Retribution, Tribes Ascend, which I might bring to you guys at some point, Far Cry 3. These games are shooters that keep me invested in the genre, but that aren't Call of Duty and aren't Battlefield. Heck, Far Cry 3 is half RPG, half open world, and half shooter. And I know that doesn't add up correctly, but roll with me. And it's games like those that allow me to get back into the Call of Duty and Battlefield multiplayer space with new eyes, knowing what it is I left, but appreciating it more for either its simplicity, the tactics you can use, the kill streaks, the rewards, whatever it is that really brought you to the game in the first place is new again. It gives you something new to enjoy. So my question then to you guys is, what do you do to keep your core game fresh? If you play Call of Duty and only Call of Duty, what do you do to keep the maps you've played for a couple months fresh? What do you do to keep the game modes fresh? Do you invent new game modes, which I know a lot of people do? Do you find ways to exploit the map? Do you learn the map? Do you navigate the map a certain way? Do you use different weapons? Do you just run around with your head aimed at the sky, just enjoying the scenery? If you play Battlefield, what do you do to keep the game fresh? Do you start using more vehicles? Do you teach yourself how to fly a helicopter, if you don't know how to do that otherwise? Do you start playing different game modes? Do you start teaming up with people? Do you start just trolling? What is it that you do to keep your game fresh? And if you're like me and you play different games to keep your game fresh, what do you play? Do you completely branch out and play games like Skyrim or Final Fantasy? Do you play a racing game? Do you even play Farm Simulator, because that apparently is all the rage these days? Or do you do what a lot of people do and just stop playing games for a while? Sit back and say, I'm done gaming for a bit. I've had my fill, it's time to take a break. And you take 2 or 3 weeks and read, watch TV, go to movies with your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your parents, whoever. What is it that you do to make games a hobby that you can continue to play for long hours into the night, into the morning, and all day long for days on end? What keeps you a hardcore gamer, I guess, is the question I'm trying to ask. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.